Coach Sheldon Harrison. There never been no comparison. You're live on the show. Sit back and have a listen. Man, LDW MMAC, this is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show live. Y'all say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Listen, Dana White, the Grim Reaper, they cut Liz Carmouche, damn it. They cut Carmouche. How the hell do they explain this one, y'all? How do they explain this? Listen, how do you get fired from your job while doing your job? Look, man, they fired Liz Carmouche while she was out doing media obligations. I said, damn, so you can get fired from your job while doing your job. Like, it's crazy. Liz Carmouche, to do some of these media obligations, man, they got to pay out-of-pocket expense, man. They got to pay a lot of expense. And so Liz was doing these media obligations, traveling for the UFC, just doing stuff that you're supposed to do when you're a fighter. And they fired her on one of these trips that she was on for the UFC. And and she found out secondhand. I'm like, damn, that's a bad way to go. That's a bad way to go. And it wasn't like Liz Carmouche wasn't winning as of late. Her only real loss came at the hands of Valentina Shevchenko. Liz was four out of her last six. She won 4 out of her last 6. Like, man, I've told y'all for years that the UFC, they don't treat that, they do a bad job with handling the women fighters. And I'm going to tell you why they released her. Okay, I can tell you right now. They did not like her performance against Valentina. And they were expecting Liz to push the pace. Well, it takes two people, Valentina, traditionally, she doesn't fight aggressively. That's just always been her style. And you got to love it or you gotta love it or hate it. That's Valentina Shevchenko. But Liz was actually saying she was going to come in and push the pace. She was going to come in and do this to Valentina and do that. And, of course, it was the opposite because when Liz got hit the first time, Liz said, oh, hell no. No, I might get hurt. So Liz Carmouche backed off of that and she didn't push the pace. I said, damn. But the way they handled this was pretty bad. They could have at least, not let the girl spend her own personal money. Okay, not let her spend her own personal money to go to some of these obligations. They could have did it before, she went because they knew she was going. They sent her. They told her to go. Now, they pay for stuff like the hotel, but sometimes to do some of these press tours, you do have to pay to go, which I thought with a big corporation like the UFC, they would just go ahead and cover Liz Carmouche's lock, stock, and barrel. That's the subject for a whole nother video. I'm like, hold on, Liz. How the hell are you doing work for them and they put you on these tours and these are your media obligations and they don't pay for the whole thing? That sounds kind of funny. Like, y'all, don't that sound kind of funny to y'all? The UFC, though, man, they done some stuff like this because I know that they did this to Chris Cyborg. Like, Chris Cyborg paid a lot of out-of-pocket expense, and Chris had to pay to get to her last fight versus Spencer. She had to pay out of pocket. It's crazy, man, because, she was training in Africa, and she had to pay. Like, this is the kind of shady stuff that they do at the UFC. And I'm thinking, this is like a multi-million-dollar Fortune 500 company? Like, this is a multi-million-dollar company. Like, and this is how they do business, But, Liz Carmouche has always she's been a company woman, okay? She's always pretty much done what the UFC has asked her to do. And she was blindsided. Like, these people, they don't even talk to you, man. Like, how you find out you get released? Most of these damn fighters, a lot of times they find out through social media. They find out. And, and I guess they called Liz's manager first and said, hey, Liz, but I know Chris Cyborg, she found out about, her release, on social media. A couple of people, Angel Overkill Hill, found out on social media that she was released. And it's like, you sitting here thinking, damn, y'all get some kind of relationship. They don't even have a decency to tell you, hey, you're fired. Well, they got Liz up out of here. And Liz, not even the worst fighter on the roster. She's 4 out of her last 6. I mean, she got wins of the likes of Caitlin Chikuyan. Okay, she beat Jessica Andrade. She beat Jennifer Maia. So I mean, it's not like she's the worst fighter on the resume, on the whole roster. No, you got fighters worse. Jessica I is much worse. Jessica I lost what, 5 straight? Ben what? I think Jessica lost 5, or I think 6 bouts as a bantamweight, 5 or 6. She lost that, and then she gets to the flyweight division. She's won every fight except for against Valentina. But those fights ain't been lackluster. Jessica I fights ain't been lackluster, and then she got knocked the hell out by Valentina. I mean, there are other fighters on the roster, man, that I can tell you they probably need to go. Okay, they probably need to go. But Liz Carmouche is gonna be the lamb that's going to slaughter. That's what it is. And I noticed too that they're trying to get some of these old heads out of here. Like, cause why the hell Paige Van Zant's still there? I don't know. Why Paige Van Zant was allowed to stay for so long. I think Paige is about to be on her way out after this last fight. But I'd be shocked. But they gave Holly Holm what last year they gave her what, 6-fight deal? And Holly Holm been getting beat up, knocked the hell out, slapped around the octagon. But we know why, because the UFC believes that Holly Holm can still bring in a nice chunk of change. You can still get the Holly Holm simps that want to take a look at Holly's ass and look at the blonde hair and the blue eyes and all that crazy mess. But Holly Holm is pretty much, man, she get title shots and opportunities, and it is what it is, man. That's what it is. But they don't give any respect to the vets. You got people like Betchko Hill who be getting knocked out, man. Like, there are a conclave of people in the UFC right now that they're just taking up space. Seriously. But Liz Carmouche wasn't one of those people. Now, I heard Liz Carmouche mention something about Bellator. And that Scott Coker is gonna be all over this, okay? And I predict that probably in a couple of weeks, Liz Carmouche will be announcing that she just signed with Bellator. One thing that Bellator is doing, there's a good and bad to the whole Bellator thing. The good thing about Bellator is that they don't look at your age, If they think that you can still fight, they're gonna bring you in and they're gonna give you some decent money, especially if you got experience. The bad thing about Bellator is that they can't attract the really young fighters because the pay. Okay? The pay. Like, if you're not within the top 3, you're not gonna make any real money at Bellator. You're just not. Okay, and that's the reality. Okay? If you're in the top 3, you're probably making pretty good money at Bellator. In the UFC, you can come in as a rookie, coming in as a young 20-something, and you'll make more money coming into the UFC than you will Bellator. In most cases. You will. So it's kind of hard to tell a young fighter, hey, listen, don't take this UFC money. UFC is known everywhere and it's more popular than Bellator. Hey, don't take this opportunity to grow your brand. Don't do that. It's kind of hard. Or you tell them, hey, take a chance on Bellator. You might not get as much money, but, at least we're going to treat you the way you want to be treated. And for some people, having peace of mind might be it, Having peace of mind. Because, the UFC, they treat these people like just dogs. And it's like you fighting the media, you fighting Dana White, you fighting the referee, you fighting the judges, and you fighting, social media, you fighting rabid fans. It's like, as a fighter, you fight a whole lot of stuff. And really, you should just be focused on the fight at hand, These fighters, they're under a lot of pressure. Y'all don't believe it, man. Especially if you got like 2 losses and the pressure is on you, because if you don't perform, then you're going to get cut. Like Randa been having pressure on her since day 1. How the hell Randa Marcos has been able to survive on all that pressure? Hell if I ever know. Okay, hell if I ever know. But somehow she's managed to survive. But, I may even do a video, and I might call it Chopping Block. And I'll tell you point blank what fighter is on the chopping block. I didn't expect Liz Carmouche to be on there. I didn't expect that, okay? But sometimes, to the UFC, they'll cut you if they think that you're not fighting up to their standards. They'll do it. They've done it before. You guys tell me what you think, guys. Do you think Liz Carmouche should have been cut? This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done. What are you waiting on? Subscribe to the best women's MMA platform on YouTube.